Okay, people, that's what you get for being a one-take Sally. All right, I've put you on my selfie stick, and we will try and do a little bit of a room tour, actually, and I'll show you some projects that have finished. So these are the ones I showed you earlier. Bear with me, I've never done it this way before. We'll see how it turns out, actually. So these are the cards I finished, and then I've made some envelopes to go with them. So here, this one I put on yellow card. I did ink the edges of the card. I like color, but it has to be in smaller amounts. I don't really like a lot of color, and a lot of people will just choose to put it on white cardstock or plain whatever. I, I think a card should have color personally because it's a lot more fun for the receiver. Um, so yeah, oh, hold on. So this is the stamp that I use. It's part of my Japanese set. It is this one. It's on my cards, actually. So it's this one right here. It's a rubber stamp set, obviously, but I really like this one. I also like the little Chinese lanterns, and these are water lilies. This one's not so easy to work with, but I do like the cherry blossom. But yeah, this one I like the best, especially for framing the card around the bottom, especially when you have something in the sky. It just looks a lot more, I want to say realistic, but obviously it's not. But I do enjoy it much better this way. And then I just made the envelopes to go with it. So on the front I have some of the bamboo, and then on the back on the flap I have the little flourish. Some of these, the stamp in the background when I was experimenting didn't come out too well on these ones, so they're a bit too faint. I used the archival ink on these ones, and then on this one I used the Stays On ink, and I have a brand new pad, so that worked out better for me, which is why it shows up so much nicer. So in this case, we just, go with the flow, and it turned out nicely either way. So I'm very happy how those turned out. So we're going to turn this into a bit of a room tour while I'm at it, because that is what I promised. So um, bear with me. Oh, there's my dog. There's my dog. That's Lucas. So when you come into my room, this is basically what you get. So this is the long view, basically. It's not very big. It's, I don't know, I want to say 8 feet by 10 feet. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really measured it. I probably did know it one time because my husband redid the floors in here, and in order to figure out how much flooring we needed, that's basically what we did. So behind my door, I have one of those IKEA metal boards. I used to have my dies on here, but I don't have very many, so I just put them close to the desk. So for now, it's just holding some of my flowers and some empty tins. Room to grow, obviously, and magnets I've collected over time just for different projects. This is a cross-stitch sampler my grandmother made me a long time ago. She's gone now, but I keep it on hand because she was a very crafty lady herself, and I'd like to see, a little bit of family heirlooms. So here are two large pegboards that my husband made. And then these wooden boxes are all the ones that I took. Well, not took. I did ask for permission, but when I worked in a warehouse, this is where we stored a lot of our product in. So when I was doing a special project getting rid of them because we went to metal boxes, these wooden boxes became obsolete and they just wanted to throw them out. And I was like, no, I will take them. I will take as many as I can fit into my vehicle and take them home and give them a loving home. So that's what I did. So I have quite a few wooden stamps. These are not all of them. There are many more, but this is the mess that I have on here. So reality is, it is a disaster. Well, not a disaster. I don't want to say that. But these are my faces. They kept falling off my card because my daughter would come and stand beside me to see what I was up to, and she kept knocking them off, even though I had glued them down and everything, but I didn't want them to get ripped. So what I'm going to do is I will frame them and I will put them in a nice shadow box, and that's a future project, obviously. So as you can see, I have on my pegboard, I just have a few alphabets and some cardstock. Well, these are not cardstock. These are the chipboard letters. So I have so many different varieties, and they used to be all in jars, but now I've put them all into little Ziploc baggies. So each baggie has a letter and they're all different kinds. So I can just go through them and it's a little bit easier. And I just put them on safety pins so that I don't have to remove all of them in order to get to the letter I want, which I thought was kind of a easy solution to my problem. And then on this one over here, it's still blank up top. I would like to just sort of display, new scrapbook pages. I try not to do 12 by 12 as much. I don't do them as much anymore as I used to, but, it is what it is. There's a couple I've done many moons ago. And here's some more of my stamps in these baskets. My plant, January Quest, of course. And then you come down, this unit my husband built, actually. Back at our old house, it used to be above my table and I'd have a light underneath, but he made it so that my magazines could fit in there and my cardstock. So there's my cardstock right here. So this right here is pretty much all 8.5 by 11. Some different things, different projects I want to work on. All my jewelry magazines are here. Some inspiration books, my brass dies or my brass stencils, my other stencils for scrapbooking. I use them for mixed media also. This is my project life, I guess. It's my version thereof. It's not really the same, but it's based on that idea. This tin, I'm sure a lot of you know about already. Christmas cookies come in those, but I love this one. So my cards are basically the same color blue as on the tin, so hence the inspiration for these ones. And then down below, I just have more storage. Here I store my 12 by 12 paper pads, and down here are all the iris cases for 12 by 12. So I have quite a few of them. I try to separate my printed papers, the colors and whatnot else as much as I possibly can. So my first art card is this one. Yeah. So this is basically, for journaling and things like that. And then my second one is mixed media. So I just have, my Mod Podge, my graphic pencils, my sprays, some of the ones that I've made, and then the other ones that I bought, and then some paint, and I have all of my crayons in here, my wax crayons and things like that. This is just to make different markings on paper and stuff. My art journal, some canvases, water, some stencils. I just hung them here to dry on a hook. I just thought it was a little bit easier instead of wasting paper towels and drying everything. So over here in the corner, I have one of those plastic units. I just keep stuff I don't get into very often, actually. So the stuff I do get into, I try to keep out as much as possible. And then, because these boxes that I got at work, back when I was working in the warehouse, these acrylic drawers from the dollar store and Dollarama and Dollar Tree and Dollarama, they fit perfectly in these boxes. So I am very, very grateful that that actually works out nicely. So, yeah, my iPad. So that's where I film, basically. I don't really have a whole lot of options with this, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'm one take Sally. I try not to do too much with it. This is my watercolor station. This color is basically my husband bought me this radio many years ago, and I've fallen in love with that color. And I have little hints of it here and there. Obviously, the cards are a little bit darker color, but you know, it is what it is. So here's some more wood stamps, um, my paper towels, my acrylic paints, some more different mediums and things like that. A butane for my torch, sorry. Um, these have been empty for a while, so I'd like to put the Jane Davenport ladies that I made in one of them and then something else in the other. I'm not sure which. The arrow decals I got at Dollar Tree, I thought they were really cute and they fit perfectly underneath there. And then this unit back here, I just use for deep storage. It's nothing really interesting in there, unfortunately, because every time I open up the drawers, the camera would shake, so I try not to have anything in there that I need on a regular basis. So, and then this is my stamping cart. So I have all my inks in there, my cleaner, my watercolor paper cardstock in there. And then these ones, I'm sure you've seen these before. But you know, these little wooden trays where all those little wooden wood pieces come in, they're handy for this, actually. It sorts it out quite nicely, keeps it all separate. So I have a few of these. This is the smaller one, and then there's the bigger one. So as my collection grows of the ink blenders, then I'll just use the other trays, which turned out quite well, actually. And then this is basically all my stamps, the clear mount stamps, let's put it that way. And then, yeah, my cleaning pad, all different kinds of pads there. These are my Prisma not watercolors, just Prisma crayons. My new set that I got for Christmas. These are all my watercolor pencils, and there's just a bunch of markers and stuff like that back there. My new scoreboard that I got. My Fiskars cutter, I got that one for Christmas. I forgot to put it on my Christmas list that on the video. My alphabet stamp punch set, my Fiskars big cutter, which I love. I've had that for many, many years. This is my, oh, excuse my shaky hand, my jewelry area. So this is my tool bench. It's an old, yes, it's a mess. It's an old island from our old house. It used to be in our kitchen. The only IKEA unit I have in here is this, basically. Everything else is mismatched, I guess. It's just from everywhere. So I just decoupaged this one not that long ago. I just wanted something different. Here's some of my journals for ideas for jewelry, a couple of extra notebooks, junk in that one. Press and seal if I want to get really messy. Tissues, obviously, garbage bags. This is basically old ideas and, I don't know, old calendars so I can look back to see what I've done. In here is just all my jewelry stuff, basically. It's a mess. Most of my beads are in here. I have them in a, this is, I want to use with my saw, a polishing rag. Let's see what else is in there. Empty containers, because you can never have too many of those. Some beads. These are all stackable. They're great for storing all this stuff. Second one has my glue sticks and things like that, and stuff for cold porcelain. And on the bottom is just old paint trays and some towels. Here is my glue gun station, because my daughter likes to come in here quite often. All of my tools. This is a magnifying light. And all my hammers, which I love so much. I'm trying to go slow. So yeah, as you can see, there's my anvil, my soft sand. It's filled with sand and it's got leather on the outside, but it's supposed to dull the sound when you're hammering and stuff like that, so you can do dome work and things. Bunch of empty boxes. And yes, that's coffee because I was dyeing some paper with coffee. what else can you do with coffee, right? A couple of TV trays, which I use when I want more surface area. An old dresser, my printer, my sewing machine, my laptop, some of the jewelry pieces I've made, lots more jewelry pieces I've made. And this is a closet, which this is the fourth bedroom. Yes, fourth bedroom. It's the smallest. It's basically what you would use for a nursery. But I got my husband to put shelves on the side so that I have better storage. And then I have like another metal old shelf that I have in here to put more stuff in. So one of my carts will usually park in here and it just tucks away nicely so I have a little bit more space. But because I'm using it right now, I just figure I'd leave it. So is my label maker, my dynamo, the old one, you know, the press one, all the tapes, my glitter. I used to store all my washi in here, but it just was a mess. So I just, you know, some more jewelry pieces, all of my shape scissors. I can't seem to get rid of these. I like them still. I know a lot of people are destashing them, but I enjoy them still. And then just, you know, a few random things. Nothing really spectacular. All my wood pieces are in the drawer and some of the wires are in there. Another IKEA little piece, but not much is in there. I love notebooks and journals and stuff like that, so that I have quite a collection of those. And then here is my soon-to-be inspiration board, but I'm just putting like ephemera on there. That's my daughter and I. She's such a wanker sometimes. I love her though. She's crazy. She takes after me sometimes. And then this is one of those other pieces that my husband built with all the wooden boxes. So, well, my nasty slippers, sorry about that. So yeah, these acrylic boxes, these little drawers fit perfectly on there. And it's allowed me to separate a lot of my embellishments and things like that. So I just, you know, like to keep it all together. So yeah, that is basically the tour. I will go slow and I will back up and then you can see a little bit more of it. But yeah, that's basically it. There's not much to it. It's not very big, but it's mine. I love it. I have my own room. I can close the door when it's messy and call it a day. And I can come back to it the next day and continue so I don't have to clean anything up. I love it. It's great. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tour. Give it a like. Subscribe if you want to see more of this. And help me on my journey. I hope you all join me on my journey. Join me on my quest. You can do your own quest. And 2019 will be fun, I think. I hope, anyway. All right. Bye, guys.